This week, here we are. What is it? Almost mid-February. Wonder how things are going. Some dealers, had a pretty slow January. Was hoping to squeeze out a good start in February. Seems like on some dealerships, at least what we're seeing here. Again, every market's different. Everybody's lot's different. Things could be flowing great at your stores. Some pays for record months. We're just getting more and more dealers reaching out to us. Matter of fact, I had to post a couple actually earlier this week, and a dealer commented on it about lack of leads happening and stuff on his inventory, even though he's priced 8% more aggressive than he has been previously, and just not enough. And this was a high volume store. And I spent some time with him on the phone and a Zoom meeting, and he's not a client. I just went through kind of looking at his stuff as far as listing. I think there was things like comments and descriptions I could do a better job at, vehicles with sunroofs with that you can barely see at a sunroof. So didn't have a photo of it, didn't have any comments, things like that. The order of the photos I thought could be rearranged. But the biggest thing is once we went into his inventory management tool, was looking at, his pricing and so forth. Now, he mentioned the 8% more aggressive pricing, and a lot of the price changes that he did just happened the day prior. And what I noticed at that point in time was that I thought he was probably 2 to 4 weeks actually behind on his adjustment on his pricings. And I wanted to kind of explain what I meant by that, and see if it's something that you're falling into also. A lot of dealers who are struggling right now are going through this, and a lot of it's not so much the struggle. Well, it's the struggle because we're going in January, February, which kind of starts slow, and dealers have been kind of holding out, hoping for a good tax season uptick. And so they're hesitant on making adjustments right now. So the stuff that we bought in January, early, going into January, beginning and end of January, are now 30, 40 days old, and we paid up for them to get them. And now at 30, 40 days old, do we make these adjustments or sit and wait another few weeks and hope the tax season thing pans out? So, that's what I told this dealer, and I'm going to do a screenshot and share here in a minute. But, that's what I told this particular dealer. I said, you can continue at your approach with your inventory right now. The problem is if you stay where you're at right now, you got to hope that the traffic does come, because you don't have any traffic right now. And a lot of times the customer we're selling are the 1 and 2, 3 week old leads. And so if you don't have any leads coming in the last 1 or 2, 3 weeks, then the next weeks are going to be slower. So he could sit and hold and wait for next week to hit and hope that the business is there. So again, looking at his inventory, and I'm going to focus mostly on what I would say that middle bucket, that 30 to 45 day old stuff. Again, because these are the stuff that, the fresh stuff, a lot of dealers hold out, try to give the car a shot. But by the time it's 20 to 45, 50 days old, you're starting to get more realistic and should be making adjustments. But I'm finding dealers kind of that deer in the headlight, pause, trying to figure out, what do I do from here? Should I adjust? Should I not? But if I adjust the way I probably need to get traffic going, I'm not going to make the money that I want. And if I can maybe hold out for uptick in tax season traffic, then, I can maintain this profit and so forth. So I can give you, matter of fact, I could share my screen over here. I'm going to give you a little bit of, this ain't that particular dealer, but this one kind of rang a bell, or kind of lined up with what my message here. You can see they're 31 to 45. This is what they're carrying, and 31 to 45 went from 6%, it's the yellow line, all the way up to 23% of their current inventory levels. And I could change this to units if we want to see how many raw units that is. It's gone from, this isn't a large dealership, but from 6 or 5 or 6 cars to upwards of 13 cars. So it's doubled. That bucket has doubled. And the challenge is, as a matter of fact, if you look at 31 to 60 right here, 31% of his inventory is sitting there. Okay. Now, when we look at what he sold over the last 2 weeks, only 5% of his sales are going out of that bucket, that middle bucket. And it's like, what's happening there? And in 3145, only 3% of his sales. So similar to this dealer I was on with yesterday, looking at his inventory, I'm like, man, he was sitting at 25%, I think selling 5%. And I said, that's factual on your lot. Okay. We go back to what we call work the facts. It's factual on his lot that he is selling, that they're not selling enough out of that bucket. So what do you want to do about it? Now, was it a price adjustment thing? You could see here that he's going from 99% to 101, back to 99, back up to 101. So I think that middle bucket is not selling because, again, it's not any more aggressive than his fresh stuff. And if you want to take a peek at some of these cars, and one of the things that I found was that that what's in a lot of these buckets is the 18, 19s, 2020s. And you can see that's happening here: 18, 2020, 2020, 19, 19, 2018, 2018, 2021. And we're priced at 100, 104, 99, 102, 102. You know, those pricing, those price points there. If things are slowing down, which you could obviously see, his sale rate on this yellow line has dropped off. Is it due to my pricing? And matter of fact, if we looked at his leads per car in that bucket, again, just really dropped off. And if we look at his 46 to 60 that he's not selling a ton out of, 2021, 2019, 2019, 2019, and a lot of these are Miley. So anything that's a late model Miley vehicle needs to be pretty aggressively adjusted to get things moving. And those price points, I'm going to stop sharing. Those price points at like 100% or not, maybe on your lot it's 97%. The guy yesterday, he was, I think, at 97% on 30 and 40-day-old cars. And I'm like, man, it seems like, and I didn't have a lot of his historical stuff that I showed you there, but it seems like that 97% at 40 days maybe should have been where you're at day 21, 2-3 weeks ago. You should have been at 97% there, because probably and again, going back to him at 97%, where he probably had to be at to get that sale rate back up might have needed to be anywhere from 93 to 95%. So his struggle then is either, and he's seen that, and he recognized that, and but he changed a lot of the prices just yesterday. So I said one of two things: you either keep it there, and again, in hopes that the sales cycle increases, see if you do generate more leads, and hope that it does, or adjust it even more, which doesn't make sense. So keep it there for a week or two. If nothing happens, then adjust, and wait another week or two, then adjust. By then, though, those cars are going to be 50, 60 days old, and you're rolling into March, and again, hoping that the tax season's there. And it might work out for you. So go ahead. If you want to do that, that's your decision, because you did make an adjustment, but maybe not enough. Because one of his cars, he was at 97% 2 weeks ago, and he adjusted well over $500, and he's still back at 97% because the market moved faster than he did. And so he's still position-wise, percentage of market, the same he was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so he's just moving with the current with the market and not getting more aggressive to get the things moving. So one of two things: sit and hold and wait, or go ahead and get more aggressive, get that bucket around 93, 95%. The dealer I just showed you had 100, 199 and 101%. Those buckets should probably be 97 and 95%. But do I want to take those hits sometimes to adjust on those cars, because they're usually late model, they're usually Miley? That means more likely, more times than not, I bought those at the lane, and I had to pay over for them, and to position them where I probably need the profit just isn't there. So if you're finding that happening on your lot, again, go look at what you're carrying in your 30 to 60, your middle bucket management. See what you're selling. You're going to want to at least sell 5% or more than what's sitting there. And if that's not happening, you're going to bleed through, and those cars will be aged, and you could sit and hope for a tax season jump, or make the adjustments now and just stay lean and clean throughout everything. That would be my suggestion. But, again, that particular dealer, hey, give it a few days. See if you get an activity, then maybe make adjustment. Give it a few more days, 3 to 5 to 7 days, then make an adjustment. Just make an adjustment. It's just shame on him. We should have been this more aggressive, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that's the stuff we try to do to help dealers stay ahead because we could see it in their trends, right? I could see it in their trends. If that's starting to build up, we're going to start making adjustments and get things going. Okay. So all these type of metrics that I'm going over with you, I did happen to write a book that goes over all these metrics and trends. These are things that you can do yourself. I even put a QR code to video links. The book, WTF, but it's called Work the Facts. Okay. If you go to workthefacts.com, you can order copies of these, but they're good for your team. Just again, figure out what you got to track to stay ahead of this curve because this market's changing, man. And I'm getting a little worried. Okay. I just hear from Bob Hollingshead on his podcast from Monday, of what's happening at wholesale. The lanes are doubling the amount of cars coming through the lane. He said something about, I think it was Vegas or something, and going from 4,000 cars running to 9,000 cars running to 60% no sale rates happening to, he said, I think it was 64% of the dealers that bought in cars from him over the last 18 and 24 months. 64% of them haven't bought a car in 30 days. Okay, we're seeing used car listings on sites like AutoTrader, Cars.com increasing 15%, nationwide. So there's more cars available. And so that's great. Car availability of cars if tax season comes, but if dealers aren't buying right now, they're holding back. Then you got to deal with inflation and gas prices. And I mean, I just shared it. If you guys follow me here, social media wise, Facebook, I just shared gas prices, inflation 7.5% high. These truckers are causing issues, and grocery bills are going up, and and tax season, who knows if people are getting. One of my employees he owes $3,200 federally and another 15 or 1,800 for state because he's already got his child tax credit. He had a little bit of unemployment prior to us hiring him onto the team and stuff. So it's hit him hard, and he's not making having a return that he thought he would. So there's a lot of people out there like that. So again, check out the book. These metrics are proven metrics of no matter what kind of economy are out there. It's just the fundamentals of inventory management, right? There's no magic pill. It's just watch these metrics and stay lean and clean to get through this stuff. If you don't react to it now in hopes that the tax season comes, and if it doesn't, man, I think we're going to be in a world of hurt in March and February. Check out my CBT News interview. It posted today in CBT News, probably one of my most important ones. I interviewed Lucky from a Automotive Live, and he did a great, go to Automotive Live, go look at where he talked about the used car bubble popped. And he has banking background of what the banks are doing right now, and I thought his insight was really good. So hope this was helpful. Reach out to us, lotpop.com, if you want to help. Again, workthefacts.com, get a copy of the book. Doing everything we can. We got a university, Lotpop University, no charge if you want to attend that, to help again stay ahead of it. We pretty much cover what's in here. So hope this tip was helpful. Have a strong